is going to be Electric. There we go. So this is Electric, who is also a longtime supporter of the channel, especially over on the Rerun channel. Been very, very instrumental in making tweaks and changes to help out overall. So very much appreciate you for doing that, sir. Now, Electric is in a Kid, the Tier 8... That sounded terrible. Tier 8 American Premium Destroyer. Very, very fantastic boat if you are looking for a good premium destroyer. The Kid is a fantastic choice. She's a Fletcher class. She gives up 1 torpedo tube for essentially better anti-air. So she's only got 1 torpedo launcher, but, and this is a big but, she has a heel. So much like the new sashimi we just showed you guys, the Kid is very fantastic when it comes to surviving and staying on the battlefield for as long as possible. All right. So let's take a look at how Electric has the Kid set up. He's got main armaments mod 1, engine room protection, aiming systems, propulsion, and finally concealment. This is pretty much your standard setup for the Kid. It's mostly a gunboat and your torpedoes. If you hit something, you're happy, but you don't necessarily spec around them. You could choose to go with Torpedo 2's modification since you only have 1 torpedo tube. Keeping that rack alive is very important. So I can see an argument for that. You could also go for smoke generator if you're the kind of person who likes to smoke up and sit in smoke and farm. Yeah. Although that's really not going to help you win battles as much, but it's relaxing, so you could do that too. But aiming systems is fine. What else is there? In slot 2, you could go for engine boost. If you're running the engine boost, I noticed that you are choosing to run defensive anti-air instead. I would say engine boost is going to be the better choice for you, especially in a ranked game. I get that carriers are annoying and defensive anti-air will help you fight the carriers. But in my opinion, engine boost is probably going to give you more mileage in the game in general. And if you try to actively dodge carriers, then this is less important.
I think the only reason or only time I would run the defensive fire is if you division with a CV to guarantee one.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I think most CV players know that the Kid has decent A. They try to stay away from you anyway, so that limits the use of your defensive fire a little bit. And obviously, you're not guaranteed to even get a carrier.
Yep.
Engine boost has more general use. It's just
right.
It.
You had a bunch of carrier games in bronze, and you're very glad you had anti-air. That's fair. That's fair. I ran into a bunch of them too. I talked about how I had some really bad experiences with them, so I switched to Massachusetts to rank out because it's got the secondaries, it's got the anti-air and all that kind of stuff, and I just don't care. So that's fine too. So you said you're using Halsey because he's your only 21 pointer. That's fair. There's nothing wrong with that. He does have the extra talents where he's got the torpedo reload time and main battery reload time if he gets a Confederate, which is possible in ranked. And then you get double strike that helps a destroyer too. He does have some skilled buffed skills, but you haven't chosen those, which is fine. Let's go over that build. Preventative maintenance, last stand, survivability expert, superintendent, concealment expert. And then you've got consumable specialist, adrenaline rush, and radiolocation. Okay. Some things to think about for the Kid. You could look into potentially trying to buff the guns. The turret traverse on this ship is really good. Really good. So radiolocation gives you a little bit less of a bonus there. Sure, knowing which direction the nearest target is helpful, but because your turrets turn so quickly, if you get surprised by something on the other side of you, it's not that big of a deal compared to like New Sashimi in the last game. So you could drop radiolocation. If you drop radiolocation, that could help you with buffing your main battery. Would probably be where I would go. You could go Fearless Brawler as well and smoke up when you need it. If you do Fearless Brawler, I don't know. You could go Dazzle. Dazzle kind of comes in handy, right? You get shot at. It's harder dispersion for 15 seconds. This gives you the time to slow down and pop your smoke, and then you're fine.
Also, the speed boost, which can help you avoid shells or keep the enemy destroyer longer in your detection range, so you can actually kill it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's some choices. Kit is nice because it's very flexible, as we just demonstrated, and if you've got Halsey spec'd for a bunch of premium destroyers at once, this is fine. Is its anti-air still good post-AA rework? Yeah.
For destroyer standards, yes.
Yeah. So electric, it's not so much the speed, like the overall velocity, it's more the acceleration, where the engine boost comes in handy. Because when you pop engine boost, that helps you speed up or slow down quicker. And that helps you dodge torpedoes better, shells, stuff like that, so whatever. What's wrong with the YouTube algorithm, Wolfie?
I mean, I have never heard any destroyers saying, I don't want more speed. That's something you just always like to have.
And we talked about with the new Tsushima too, the engine boost, especially if you combine with the engine boost module in slot 2, it gets you from place to place on the map a lot quicker, which does help when it comes to needing to reposition and that sort of thing. Pick the wrong version? Oh, the vertical instead of horizontal. No flags, you're in ranked bronze, so whatever. Yes?
You have some background noise. It's coming through, at least in Discord.
Okay, what's it sound like?
I don't know, like a blower, a fan.
Okay, that's my video card. I only use Kit in bronze because the CVs in the first place just happened to start like it. Okay, that's fair. All right, well, let's get the replay going, and then I'll adjust my whoops. I'll adjust my mic a little bit. Remember, we were doing some of that testing before I left, and then Windows updates and stuff like that. I did confirm, though, that you guys are on NVIDIA Broadcast Export. So, microphone noise removal. Tell me if you still notice it now.
I still heard it. It's actually
you still heard it now?
Like way louder than it was before, like before the testing we did last time.
Okay. Well, the other option is that Discord might be using the wrong audio input. Nope, it's on NVIDIA Broadcast input. Weird. I honestly don't know what to tell you. Tell me if you hear now. You hear a difference?
If you're only talking that short, no.
Well, sorry, but I can keep talking like this. If you have related tips to help with Velos as well, okay. Positioning questions, not so much the boat. Well, this is a ranked battle. You're the only destroyer, so wherever you go, your team better follow.
Yeah,
any difference?
I still hear it.
I know. I just turned it off. Let me turn it on, and we'll see if it works. Last time I did this, NVIDIA Broadcast crashed on me, so who knows?
I still hear it. Might be a bit quieter now, though.
Okay, I'll take quieter. NVIDIA Broadcast is still clocking, so yeah, it's crashing. So, Tier 8 ranked, of course, you're only in 8s. No carriers, no subs. 3 battleships, 2 cruisers. Okay, well, NVIDIA says it failed, but it's on. You notice a difference?
I can still hear it. I mean, it's not that bad. Like, but
okay.
How loud I heard it, I thought something was blowing up around you. Like,
well, that's weird.
It was that loud. Like,
okay. Chat, did you guys hear that too? With only one destroyer, usually play Kid YOLO for that thing. Oh, yeah, like YOLO into the enemy destroyer. It's a Kunabirti, so you could probably get away with that. I have time to figure out audio to Cat B. Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing that there's some stuff coming through the microphone. Oh well. Let's see. Properties. It's on NVIDIA broadcast. Okay. I don't know. Could be an NVIDIA broadcast thing. Like I said, it's my first stream in a couple weeks, and everything got updated, so who knows. Okay, the enemy destroyer went to sea cap, so you don't have to worry about destroyers for a while, so that's kind of fun. Firing torps at the Bismarck, figuring he's going to turn southward. That's fine. And you said you're playing on North America server this time around? I would not turn towards the Bismarck here. Where I would be going northward up here. This is EU? Oh, I thought you said you only have... Oh, you mean like as far as a U.S. captain. Okay. So you turning south like this, it puts you in a prime position for the Bismarck to accidentally spot you if he's got hydro on. Which is right about now. If you had gone farther north, then you've got the ability to continue messing with the Bismarck from whatever, and also the Atlantico and Anhalt. As you can see, the Otago and Catalunya are over at CCAP, so it gives you a little more flexibility, I think, if you were to have gone north. Since you asked about positioning.
Bismarck Hydro is not 6 kilometers. It was safe there.
Is it? I thought it was 6.
Bismarck, no, it's only 5 on Bismarck.
Okay. Well, either way. I'm just saying, it's very easy, like, you know, you get yourself spotted, you pop your smoke, and then he just charges you with hydro on, and eventually you die anyway. So... I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, it's 5. And rip your Iparanga, by the way. Don't know why he would do that, but he did. And you can see one of the problems with the kid. Gun arcs are comfortable, but at long range, absolutely not comfortable. He's low, so you want to finish him off. I get it. And Bismarck did it for you. Now, you might want to slow down and smoke. My guess is you're thinking, I'm going to get in the cap first and then smoke. What I would do is slow to like a half. Or actually slow down to a quarter. Get yourself unspotted. And then get in a B. It would be easier to do that if you had engine boost, of course. You're choosing not to smoke.
This is my problem with the kit. That is where mine starts, because how do you farm the kit? You have to smoke, right, and use your guns.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do it with torps because you only have 1 rack and the cooldown is huge.
Mm-hmm.
But the moment you smoke up to farm and sit in your smoke, you're relying on your teammates again to do the spotting for you.
Another reason why I like the idea of you going north back here, because then you could smoke and you could farm all of these ships, you know, while your team is spotting for you. But where you are right now, first of all, the Otago is probably going to luck chuck torps in the B cap, and you are heading exactly in the direction of where he's luck chucking torps, right? You know he's going to torp the Bismarck. Bismarck's got Hydra going, which is nice. Yeah, what do you do next after their destroyer is dead? Then like I said, you farm. But you have to do it from a position that ensures that you are still getting spotting. Like, Belfast isn't spotting crap, you know? Massachusetts, Maine's are not either. So once Bismarck dies, that's game over. For farming.
It's actually the main reason why I don't like the kit and why I don't play it. I'd much rather play the Cossack, because the Cossack can play torpedo boat better than the kit can, just because the torpedoes reload in like 60 seconds.
Oh, look, Otago torped your Bismarck. What do you know?
Torpedoes to port.
I'm at the same problem here. Once the enemy destroyer is dead, I'm lost in the kit.
You and Grundy say things that should be obvious to you, but at the time they don't. They don't seem obvious. Like right now, for example, you headed towards Catalunia's last known position, and Catalunia's got hydro, so surprise! On the bright side, because you've got radiolocation, you know exactly what the Catalunya is going to do, and it looks like he's going to come through the channel. You only have 1 rack of torps, so you got to make it count. Oh, he stayed behind. That's even better for you. Heal's fine. Now you could use your defensive anti-air if you wanted to shoot down something for free. Stop and smoke here. Absolutely stop and smoke here, because you can farm the Analt. Analt doesn't have Hydro. And he's going to be spotted by everybody. And Catalunia's used his Hydro already. He was last seen moving away from you. So you probably don't have to worry about Catalunya anytime soon. Yeah. Like I said, if he wants to do like the very aggressive position thing, then, you know, as you can see there, that's a possibility. But because he caught you on Hydro and he was moving away, I think you might have been a little bit okay there. Stand by to repel borders, right? I think it's funny though that you're basically being forced to run away from everybody. It's this ironically the same map of Cthulhu's replay. Now he took himself out of the battle. In this case, your decision making is putting you in bad positions with these ships. Catalunia's Hydro is probably down pretty soon. I would stop and smoke here.
I would actually be worried that the Catalunia's Hydro is coming back up again soon.
I think where you were just now, right here, stop and smoke and shoot. If the Catalunya wants to get you on Hydro, he's got to come to you. And that's going to put him in risk of, you know, Massachusetts and the rest of your team.
I can literally feel your indecisiveness now what to do.
Yep. The music actually is also like spot on right now for this, I think, the music. So that's good.
It feels like you've done the same 360-degree circle 5 times by now. And I would love to help, but I can't because I've been equally lost in the kit.
With 3 heals left, yeah, I know, Armac, absolutely. That's what I was talking about before, you know, like, you could build into guns. You don't necessarily need radiolocation on this ship. It helps, but you don't need it as much as a lot of the other ships. And actually, it comes as a detriment because it warns whoever you're about to torp with your 1 rack of torps that you're torping them. Now, if you were up to the north all this time, I mean, you could have messed with Atlantico. You could have continued to kill the Analt. You could have farmed the Otago. But instead, you're just being forced to run away. Even here, like, you could have smoked, shot, got him on another fire or two, the Analt would be dead right now. You absolutely should have finished the Analt, yeah. So now you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to shoot him, and now you can only hit him a couple of times before that's it. So you're praying for a fire there. It just feels bad, man.
It's weird that you waited so long because like you're still spotted by the cruiser. Like
yeah. A distraction from what? Them shooting your mines? Like there's only one other ship left to distract them because they all just sat together and died. And you couldn't help them because you were getting chased by Catalunya. Here we go. So Analt is still alive. Mines is no help. I mean, he's hiding behind an island again. So you're gonna go towards the Analt. Yeah, I know. He's fighting
10k.
Yeah, he's fighting a 4-on-1. That's absolutely correct.
I mean that was an equal match on ships couple of minutes ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can see how important it is that, I mean, look at your damage. You've gotten two full caps. You've done less than 2,000 damage total.
Yeah, you're playing torpedo kit, which is not good.
Yep. Oh, hello, Atago. The exact thing you don't want to see right now. You better pop your heel.
I don't think that's gonna save.
Nope. There goes your heel. And now you get to die to the Atago.
How could have finished you with guns like 2 times over and decided to flex and use the torps?
Well, yeah, you might have gotten more damage in those other battles, but there's probably more things for you to feel like you're doing in those other battles. The problem with this one is there's only one destroyer. It died, and now what? And you weren't sure what to do. Look at that! Look at that! Look at that wave! I love these explosions.
I think that is honestly a ship problem. I'm not saying the kit is bad, but I don't think the kit suits your playstyle.
I mean, that's true as well, right? You're playing it like a torpedo boat, like you said. You're playing it more like it's a Kagero, for example, right?
Like you'd be much better off like doing this kind of stuff in a Loyang or a Cossack, because the Loyang has Loyang, you have the Hydro, you can smoke up in the Hydro, be safe and shoot. You have 2 sets of torpedoes, and on the Cossack you also have the short Hydro, you have good guns, and while you also have even less torps in the kit, they reload so much quicker and they have more range, so you're a bit more flexible with them.
So the thing is, Wolfie is correct. Kid needs to do destroyer stuff. Spot, cap, seek, and sink. The biggest problem for you was you were spotting things, but your team wasn't doing anything about it because they had something else that they needed to shoot at first. So you put yourself in a position where the spotting that you provided your team was pretty much useless. And you couldn't use your guns because, again, you had stuff that was countering you. So you painted yourself into a lot of corners in this game. So I want to point out, you came in second place here. So obviously you lost your star. You would have kept it. Honestly, you probably would have kept it if you would have just focused on doing a little bit more damage. I mean, that's very close base XP
Kill on
wise.
the Anhalt alone would have given him the 15% he needed to save.
Absolutely. So I'm glad that you sent the replay in, because it's a great example of one of those games where you're just like, what the hell could I have done differently? Now let's go and take a look at the replay render here and pop this up. Now I'll try to highlight a couple of things, all right?
The thing is, like, he did the destroyer stuff, right? He kept A, he kept B, the enemy destroyer got sunk. It's only after all that where it went downhill.
That's right. Because in ranked, you have to constantly carry. Once you're done carrying, you have to carry again and again and again until you win. Because teammates heavy. So here. Destroyer's dead. Not necessarily by your input, or it's going to die soon. And now what? And I think that's going to be the title of your replay unless other people come up with better choices. But honestly, I would have gone straight up Delta 3, go behind the island so that the Bismarck, you don't get stuck between the island and the Bismarck's Hydro. Get up in the backfield and then stop and smoke and farm when your team is, engaged in things. Get your guns in there to try to help cause fires and whatever. Now, I want to point out, too, here, you turned back south again. You had the option. You didn't take it. You had the option of smoking your team. Would it have mattered? I don't know. It's a ranked game, so there's that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a team play up there. Well, that's what I was talking about, Wolfie. Exactly what I was talking about. Get in the backfield, go up the 3 line, get to the C line, and then just go across the sea line. And then maybe Charlie 5-ish? Charlie 5-ish is where I'd want to be. Somewhere around there. I can stop, I can smoke, I can shoot at whatever is heading to the B cap. Exactly. Put it another way. If you look at it right now, Electric, and this is good for everybody too. You look at the mini-map right now, your entire team is in one spot. This enables the enemy team to decide where they want to go, to flank, maneuver, whatever. And you lose the initiative because of that. You're not really controlling much board, even though you feel like you have a central position. You just don't spot anything. So if you were in C4 right now, C5 right now, you could back off. You could torp the Atlantico as he retreats. You could torp towards the Otago. Get the Otago to chase you. Have him chase you right to the 4 line, right in front of the Massachusetts. Dead Otago. And then you put yourself in front of the Catalunya and completely got surprised by his hydro. I mean, I think the other thing, too, that you have to get your mindset out, it almost feels... Grunty, you mentioned Torpedo Destroyer. I feel like he's playing Torpedo Destroyer, but with like shorter range, more damaging torpedoes, like a Soviet Torpedo Destroyer, more so than like a Kagura. Because a Kagura, you typically just luck chuck torps at near max range, right? But he's getting into positions to try to assassinate stuff at like 5 kilometer.
Yeah, it's too close to comfortably smoke up because you could easily get charged down. And it's, yeah, I don't know. Like, as I said, like, I'm probably equally lost in the kit in this situation, which is why I don't like it. I don't know what to do with it too. It feels awkward to me.
You never know where to smoke up. So when in the kit, yes.
Then don't play American destroyers with the long-lasting smoke. Play something with more shorter smokes that are more flexible, so you're not afraid to waste them.
So I would say it like this. You need to think of American destroyers as machine guns. I want you to, in your mind, think of a World War I era machine gun nest, right? They're hell to deal with head on. And that's what you put yourself as. You put yourself in front of the enemy push, you pop your smoke, and you are the machine gun. Okay? As they come after you, as they come towards you. Or you pop your smoke and you machine gun them from an area that they're not expecting you to be in. And from that alone, that encourages them to run away from their position that they're in. So you think of it from those two perspectives. Where's the enemy going? I want to smoke in front of them. Or, I want to smoke near them, to their side or something like that, right? So again, right here, it's Charlie 4 is where I want to be right now. I want to be Charlie 4. I can smoke, I can shoot the Bismarck, I can shoot the Atlantic if the Bismarck dies or I don't have a shot on him anymore. And if I don't have a shot on any of these, I reposition. I pick up my machine gun and I move to another part of the battlefield. The third option for your smoke is just smoke your teammates. When you duck back towards your team, give them a smoke. What you're not using it. Like right here. Right here, you could have smoked the Massachusetts, the Belfast 43, and the Bismarck. Would they have used it? Who knows? Duckman, thanks for helping Narmacked out. Believe it or not, this is another opportunity, another really good opportunity to stop and smoke. Right here, not only do you protect your Bismarck, you give him a chance to go dark, but you also have the ability to shoot the Atlantico that's pointed towards you. If the Catalunya charges you, the Bismarck is able to help support you and keep you alive. And you know later that the Analt's going to charge B as well. Well, they expect you. First of all, because you've got radiolocation, they expect you're closest to them. So that kind of works against you automatically. So, you know, I might recommend trying a build without radiolocation in your next highest captain, and just see how it feels. You'll definitely notice a difference. But the whole point is, because you don't know where to go, you keep going back to where your team already is. So using the machine gun example from earlier, the metaphor, you're literally just running up and down your own front lines with a machine gun where everybody already knows to look for you to be, your enemy. You're not opening up another front. You're not making them react to you. Okay? Again, you're up at C4, C5, you smoke. Atlantico will react to your position. He's going to turn and run away, right? Atago will react to your position. He'll probably go in for a torpedo run and then probably turn away. Maybe explode in the process, or you can shoot him in the process. Okay? Those very things could have saved your Bismarck right now. So that's what you need to be thinking about. I would almost say if you struggle with this, go back to tier 4 and play Clemson. We call it the Clubson for a reason, because all that destroyer does is sit, smoke, and farm. And learn that playstyle. Another thought is few ships have secondary mounts that can bear dead ahead or astern. Opening up, yeah, that's true, Armac. Like directly in front or directly behind the Analt, right? Can't do anything about you. But as soon as you get on their side, okay, now the secondaries can start shooting you. Destroyer players need to be comfortable managing their detection while spotting for the team. Right, in this case, because your team is all back there anyways, your spotting doesn't matter, right? It's more, you gotta get your guns in this. You gotta, you feel like you did the thing, you got the caps, sure, but you're not doing enough for your team. Go back to that comment I said earlier. You got to constantly carry your way through ranked. You can't just carry once and be like, all right, team, we won. No, your team finds magnificent ways to throw battles all the time. So you have to be in a constant carry mindset. What am I able to do damage? If you don't know, if you're not sure, I often talk about the default decision is to advance. Break your mindset of this. That's the reason you got spotted right here. Your default thought was, I'm going to get in front of the Analt, and then you got yourself on Hydro. Okay? If you're ever not sure what to do, go back to your team and smoke them. It would be my first suggestion. Or stop and smoke yourself and then just farm until something disappears and then leave the smoke. So I think for your title, Electric, I would probably put Now What with a question mark as your title. And chat, if any of you guys have other ideas for that, please, by all means, share it. But I'd probably go with Now What. Captain cannot do much wrong by placing his ship alongside that of the enemy. You want to listen to Mr. Boombastic for a reason about the music, or me talking?
Mr. Boombastic. Oh my god.
Anyway, Electric, man, I do hope we gave you some good feedback there. And hey, thank you as always for supporting the channel and all that kind of stuff. And if you got other questions or if you want to send in other replays, of course, do the thing. And we'll go and take a look at them for you, okay?